Jacob? Is this serious?
I'm not doing anything until this gets fixed.
I believe I know someone who can help with that.
I knew you would, Greenie.
After the bugs and issues in Assassin's Creed Unity, many were rightly concerned about what they can expect next from the Assassin's Creed franchise. Thankfully, Assassin's Creed Syndicate is for the most part a return to form for the series and proves that the annualization still has plenty of steam in its engine. Set during the Industrial Revolution in the heart of London, Jacob and Evie Fry are on a mission to release the city from the tyrannous grip of the Templars. This is done on two fronts. While Evie stealthily hunts down artifacts and secrets the Templars want, Jacob will take back the city by force with his infamous gang, the Rooks. Both Evie and Jacob are extremely likeable, well-drawn characters, and their sibling banter and rivalry and interaction makes for some of the funniest and heartwarming moments in the franchise. Then you have the game's antagonist Crawford Starrick, who is arguably one of the best written and performed villains since Cesare Borgia, and a man you just love to hate. With so many memorable characters on each side of the Assassin vs Templar conflict, Syndicate's story of family, industry and corruption will have you invested until the very end.
Tell me, do you believe in ghosts?
Not particularly.
Yes.
One of Syndicate's key game mechanics is the fact that you can play as both Evie and Jacob Fry. You can switch between them at any time when you're not in an active mission. Each do have their own unique story missions, but as far as all the side content goes and all the side missions, you can complete them with whoever you wish. Both Evie and Jacob's abilities are very similar for the most part, but each have a set of unique perks, abilities and outfits that complement their playstyles. Each character has a deep skill tree, which also has a direct impact on customization, which follows a level limiting RPG style format. From the get-go, you can craft and unlock as many weapons and gear you desire if you have the resources, but you can't always use them. First, you need to raise your level by spending skill points earned via XP. For example, you may find a blueprint to craft a level 8 sword cane, but currently you're only at level 7. The cane's already been crafted, but you can't use it until you've leveled up to level 8. The combined systems of earning XP, spending skill points, leveling up and customization naturally slow the sense of progression, so you don't become overpowered too quickly and you end up spending more time with the varying weapons from knives, sword canes and knuckle dusters.
I'm sure you can put this to better use than I can.
Oh, what's this, Greenie? Assassin Christmas.
Combat has also seen a welcome redesign, blending the combat from what we've seen in Assassin's Creed Unity with a hint of Black Flag on top. This time round, combat is much more faster, and as you attack and counter foes, you raise your combo meter, and then once your enemies have received enough damage, you can unleash devastating combo kills. These tweaks to the combat still don't make it easy, however. If you counter too early or you attack instead of breaking a defense, it can result in some massive damage as enemies will attack in groups from all sides. The city of London is massive and beautiful, and in places you can definitely tell Ubisoft have spent a lot of time trying to craft the iconic imagery that we have for Victorian London. The city is broken up into multiple boroughs, and each range from different styles of architecture and tone in terms of grime. Whitechapel will be dark, dingy and filthy, whereas the areas around Westminster will be clean, with tall buildings and well-dressed NPCs. The map size and distance between fast travel points will take a bit of getting used to because the city itself is so big, but once you unlock the rope launcher, zipping around the city and assassinating foes from above becomes highly enjoyable. If you get bored of climbing and using the zipline, you can also choose to race around the city via horse and carriage, which results in some of the game's more chaotic and entertaining gameplay moments. The horse and carriage is also one of the more weaker points of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Don't get me wrong, it's still highly enjoyable, but it's a bit too clunky. Once you enter carriage combat and you climb on top of those roofs and start fighting or moving from one carriage to the next, there's a good chance that you may overshoot a jump and land on the street, or you'll just randomly be thrown off if you hit an obstacle or you hit another carriage. Like all AC games, there's plenty to do off the main path, from liberating boroughs, stealing cars, cargo and solving crimes. You end up playing the same side mission over and over again, and it can get a bit repetitive at times, but it all has purpose and meaning. Completing side quests earns you reputation with various factions throughout the city, which will ultimately unlock useful weapons, outfits and upgrades.
An interesting challenge. We accept.
Shouldn't we at least talk about these things for... Sod it. We accept.
Syndicate has a lot more polish over its predecessor, but there's still a few problems. Free running isn't as smooth as it could be, as you might end up snapping to one climbing point when you don't want to, and you could potentially find yourself falling through the map in some little random odd areas, especially on the River Thames when you're climbing across the boats. These kinds of issues are expected in an open world game like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but in some people's cases it may ruin the experience, especially during an intense moment of gameplay or if you're racing against the clock. Conclusion, I give Assassin's Creed Syndicate a 9 out of 10. It can be argued by many that Assassin's Creed Syndicate isn't the overall best game in the series, but it's full of all the best things that made the series enjoyable and fun to play in the first place, going all the way back to Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. Despite the minor bugs and the clunky carriage combat, Assassin's Creed Syndicate is full of fun gameplay moments, it has a natural sense of progression and it's full of enjoyable characters. AC Syndicate shows that the series is back on track and it has a potentially bright future ahead of it. And that is the end of this review. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Have you played Assassin's Creed Syndicate? What do you think of it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments below, I really do want to know. Anyway, until the next one, take care and be safe. Love you all, Assassins. Went out. Peace.